What's up, everyone? Jeremy here from The Quartering. Some interesting barbs being thrown by the CEO of the Daily Wire towards Brett Cooper. I'm not exactly sure why. I'm not exactly sure what brought this on, although some of it I agree with. I know that's crazy, but you're going to have to wait to see everything he said. It appears that Brett Cooper will be releasing a video today. I don't know what about. I suspect she's going to keep it classy. Her first video probably won't be airing out any kind of dirty laundry. It'll probably be like a normal let's get back to work stuff. But this is definitely an interesting video. Look, I support Brett Cooper in her going her own way. I hope she continues to do that because, quite frankly, I think the Daily Wire did her a favor. I mean, it did. It opened things up for her. Got her on the main stage. Now she has the cachet to go do whatever it is that she actually likes doing. And it seems like talking about politics every day is probably not what her passion is. But let's get into this video from, I don't know exactly when this came out, but it's obviously pretty recent. It just got posted to Twitter late yesterday. By the way, I know not everyone uses TikTok or Instagram. Okay, I get it if you don't. But I do believe short form content is the future along with long form. Many of you have seen that I've committed to short form content on YouTube and other places. If you use TikTok or if you use Instagram, please give me a follow. I'm The Quartering News on both of them. I have a blue check on Instagram. You should be able to find me just tiktok.com/The Quartering News, one word. You'll see I have an exclusive format there for short form, and I would love your help to try and save some of the normies that are on Instagram and TikTok. Extremely upsetting and distressing that Brett Cooper can't be bothered to defend Reagan Conrad, especially since Brett recommended her as a replacement for the comment section to Jeremy Boring. I only hope Brett eventually releases a statement of some kind to combat the vicious rumors. First of all, Brett Cooper doesn't have to do any of that stuff. It's absolutely outrageous that anyone would expect her to do that, demand it from her. In particular, her former boss demanding Brett Cooper do PR for the person that took over her show is bonkers. Unless it was in part of the separation agreement and she got paid some sort of money to do this, I can't imagine the stones on that it would take to kind of say, oh yeah, definitely Brett Cooper has to do this. This is wild.
Most the entire time that there's been the comment section, not from the very earliest days, but almost the entire time, 2 years, has been the producer of the show, has helped to write the show.
He's talking about Reagan, who, by the way, as far as what's publicly available, yes, there are rumors and stuff like that. I don't have any issue with her. And if Brett wanted to leave and they inserted her into the show, I would have started a new show called something else, and I would have launched it with Reagan as her own thing. That's what I would have did because I understand how the internet works. The Daily Wire clearly doesn't understand the way internet works in terms of loyalties to a creator. It's as sick of me as you guys get, you're not gonna if I just replace myself. Although maybe if Hannah Claire took over the channel, you guys would maybe but you get what I'm saying. You can't just create who runs a channel or replace them. It's literally never worked.
Every single day, 2 episodes a day, and has been Brett's best friend. And so, some of the accusations against Reagan have been really ugly, like that she's impersonating Brett. Well, that's unfair. If Reagan seems a bit like Brett, it's because she's Brett's best friend and one of the writers and the producer of the show. She's worked as much on the show every day on what the show would look like and feel like and sound like as Brett has for these last 2 years. They've done that together.
Fair.
Obviously, they have a lot in common in terms of their delivery because they have helped craft the show together. Some of the rumors I saw that we sent Reagan to acting lessons to make her more like Brett, that's absolutely absurd.
I mean, this is actually a legitimate rumor that I did see going around.
and deeply offensive. Reagan's enormously talented. She's been an enormous part of building the comments section for the last 2 years. And I've never sent her to an acting lesson. She's never asked me to send her to an acting lesson. I've never asked her to do anything to be more like Brett. If anything, we've told her make the show as much your own as you can while maintaining the format. But she is like Brett because they are friends and collaborators, have been collaborators on the show. It's actually ironic because I did send Brett to various kinds of lessons as a performer.
Oh, shade? Shade? Uh-oh.
Performer, not acting lessons. Brett's a terrific actress and always, the entire time I've known her, she has been, as will be evident when you see the Pendragon cycle. But I did send her to dancing lessons and singing lessons in preparation for her role as Snow White. I sent her to dialogue coaching sessions to help her with her role in the Pendragon cycle, and that's good. That's like...
I feel like this is kind of a backhanded compliment. He's basically saying like, well, I had to do all this stuff for Brett Cooper, but he's like couching it by, it's like a compliment sandwich. He's saying, oh yeah, she's just so great. Well, I did send her to dancing lessons, vocal lessons, dialogue lessons, this lesson, that lesson, but she's fantastic. This is classic passive-aggressive compliment sandwich boss talk.
Like saying that you shouldn't send a performer to lessons is like saying that my political host shouldn't read books. They should just know everything. It should all be natural. What nonsense. You should always be making yourself better. And Brett did take steps to make herself better and better and better, and I'm sure will continue to. And perhaps Reagan will as well. But what Reagan hasn't done is taking acting classes to be more like Brett Cooper. That is just completely absurd. And it's hurt my feelings a little bit that Brett hasn't done more to defend her friend.
Whoa. So now, guy worth $100 million with $1 billion company is saying that Brett Cooper hurt his feelings because she hasn't defended Reagan, who is not Jeremy Boring, is not related to Jeremy Boring, has nothing to do with Jeremy. Why is his feelings hurt? He's like trying to guilt her into making some sort of statement promoting her old show, which she has absolutely no obligation to do.
Is to be more like Brett Cooper. That is just completely absurd. And it's hurt my feelings a little bit that Brett hasn't done more to defend her friend Reagan. Brett chose to leave the show. It was her idea, her stated desire to leave the show and to leave the company. She had personally recommended Reagan to me before she told me she wanted to leave the show.
She personally recommended Reagan, so it sounds like she did defend her friend.
She had personally recommended Reagan to me and told me that if she ever did leave the show, Reagan would be a great person to consider to host it, and that at any rate I should give something to Reagan because she should be on-screen talent. And the audience, whenever Reagan would guest host the comment section, the audience loved her. The comments were almost universally positive. In fact, many of the things that they're now criticizing her for in the comments were the things that they liked most about her.
Well, that's because she wasn't replacing her then. She was simply filling in.
When they didn't know that Brett was leaving the show. And for that reason, I know that most of these attacks on Reagan are completely unfair. They're completely disingenuous. People aren't really raising these criticisms. They're either helping to craft or buying into a narrative which has been crafted by people who want the Daily Wire to fail and want Reagan to fail in the role. And
I don't want the Daily Wire to fail, and I don't want Reagan to fail. One of the things that I have consistently spoken out, yes, I like Brett Cooper, but like, I'm not friends with her. We've never hung out. We haven't spoke on the phone. For all I know, she absolutely hates me. But one of the things that I have consistently spoken out against is that people, mass downvoting the New Girl's videos and being mean to the New Girl without any real evidence. If evidence comes out that she really did push Brett out, or there's some shenanigans behind the scenes, the internet's going to do what the internet's going to do. But as of right now, there's really no reason for people to be raging on this woman.
Both will be disappointed because Reagan will not fail in this role, and the Daily Wire will not fail. We continue to grow and we continue to succeed, and business is hard, and we'll go through you're always going to go through a little bit of a downturn in audience after a very popular host leaves a show. But Brett will go on and build her next thing, and she'll do just fine and continue to be very successful. And Reagan will continue to find her footing with her new role as host of the comment section and continue.
Seems like he's reading a pre-prepared statement, doesn't it?
To thrive. And absolutely, we will do other kinds of content with Reagan. Reagan and Brett are different. We did other kinds of content with Brett in the form of acting.
Movies.
She played a very important role in the Pendragon cycle because Brett is a very gifted actress. And
I mean, if you look here, getting ready to film with my trusty sidekick, a cat. Shout out cats. So it looks like she's finally getting ready to film. Dogs won't sit still for filming, but Leslie will. So it sounds like she's got a new video coming out. I don't think that it's going to be a tell-all. That would be a weird first video, I think. I mean, she could come back with a bang, right? But she's already got 600,000 subscribers. Her first video is going to get 1 million views guaranteed. It might be better for her to just keep that first video ho-hum.
All right, Americans.
In terms of the comment section, right? The show is dead. It's not Reagan's fault. I don't think that it's fair that people are like dunking on her without any kind of information.
Hey,
but this is an episode. This channel has 4 million subscribers, and the episode doesn't even break 20,000 views. I mean, 418 downvotes. Again, if you're still auto downvoting this, just unsubscribe. Just unsubscribe. There's no reason to just continue to hate on these videos. But now, who's the new producer deleting all the negative comments? Daily Wire, you can delete bad comments as much as you want, but your views are still embarrassing. If all these people, so now they're deleting comments. If all these people were just not, how did the views tank this much? Still miss Brett. There's some positives in here, but it is interesting to see, if all the people coming just to downvote this and to leave negative comments, this episode probably would have got 12 or 13,000 views when you have 4 million subs. So again, I don't think Reagan, I don't think there's anything wrong with Reagan that we know of. But I if something else comes out, that's something. But if you look at the show when Brett was on it, it was pretty consistently getting 200 to 400,000 views. So the views have dropped off. The views are down about 80%, right? Yeah. Let's say this gets to 20,000. Their views are down almost 90%. If they were getting, 500,000, 1 million views, I mean, this is wild. So Brett used to I'd say she probably averaged 500,000 views with all the ones that really pop off. So the fact that they're getting, 18,000, so views are down 95%. People just maybe aren't connecting with Reagan like they did Brett. I don't think they should have kept it called the comment section because all the downvoting and the low click-through rates on the videos are going to bury this channel. They really should you could do it right now. Just start a new show, a new channel, call it something else, and give Reagan a fresh start if they really want her to have a chance to succeed. We'll have to see what Brett's first video is later today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like on it. If you haven't yet, subscribe or follow down below, and we'll talk to you again real soon.